All right, let's get into it. When a company becomes so critical to an entire industry like NVIDIA has with AI, you've got to read their official filings. So we're going straight to the source, NVIDIA's annual 10K report, to really unpack what makes this company tick, what's behind their incredible dominance, and, maybe most importantly, the big risks they see coming.
It's kind of wild to think about now, but this whole journey started way back in 1999 when NVIDIA invented the GPU. They basically kickstarted the PC gaming market and just completely changed the game for what was possible in virtual worlds, from video games to movies.
But fast forward to today, and that same core technology is the beating heart of the AI boom. It's powering everything from those massive language models you hear about to the brains in self-driving cars. So how on earth did a gaming company get here?
To really get it, we have to start with the fundamental idea that drives everything they do. It's the concept that unlocked the insane processing power of the GPU for, well, pretty much the entire world.
And that concept is accelerated computing. See, a normal CPU in your computer tackles tasks one by one, sequentially. But a GPU, with its thousands of tiny cores, can attack thousands of tasks all at the same time. NVIDIA was the pioneer here, using this to solve problems that we used to think were just completely impossible to crack.
And wow, this quote from their own filing just perfectly sums up their whole journey. They went from creating these amazing, imaginary worlds inside a computer to helping us simulate intelligence itself. That is a massive leap.
And this wasn't just some theory they were floating around. Oh no, the proof, the real pow moment, came back in 2012 in what NVIDIA calls the Big Bang of modern AI. This neural network called AlexNet, which was trained on their GPUs, just shattered all the records in a huge image recognition contest. And just like that, the AI race was officially on.
Okay, so here's the thing you absolutely have to understand about NVIDIA's dominance. It's not just about making really fast chips. It's about the entire ecosystem, the whole shebang that they've built around those chips, making them almost impossible to ignore. Think of their strategy like a three-layer cake. At the bottom, you've got the GPU itself. That's the engine. But an engine is useless if you can't tell it what to do. That's where CUDA comes in. It's the special language to speak to the GPU. And then on top, you have all the software kits and tools that make it super easy for developers to actually build things. And the result of that strategy? Well, just look at this number. Almost 6 million developers around the world are now building stuff using CUDA. That's not just a user base, that's a massive, powerful moat around their entire business. What this does is create this incredible feedback loop, this virtuous cycle. The more developers who use their software, the more cool apps get built. The more cool apps there are, the more people need to buy their hardware to run them. Each side just keeps feeding the other, getting stronger and stronger.
And this whole ecosystem didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was built on an absolutely massive foundation of investment. We're talking over $58 billion sunk into research and development since the company started.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. This core technology, this whole platform, isn't just for AI data centers. Nope, it's being used across a bunch of other huge multi-billion-dollar markets. Their 10K breaks the business down into 4 main buckets. Now, data center gets all the headlines today, for sure. But that same underlying tech is still a powerhouse in the original gaming market and professional visualization for all the designers and creators out there, and it's shaping the future of the automotive industry.
Back in their original turf, gaming, they are still pushing things to the absolute limit. You've got ray tracing, which gives you this mind-blowing realism by simulating how light actually behaves in the real world. And then there's their AI-powered DLSS tech, which is basically magic. It boosts your game's performance so everything is super smooth without making the picture look worse. And that exact same expertise in graphics and AI is spilling over into other huge fields. Their Omniverse platform lets companies build digital twins, like a perfect video game version of an entire factory to test things out. And in cars, their Drive platform is basically the all-in-one AI brain for self-driving vehicles.
Okay, so we've established NVIDIA's incredible technology, its massive power. But a huge chunk of their 10K is dedicated to a challenge that is completely out of their control: geopolitics. And it is a big one. Over the past few years, you can just see how things have ramped up. The US government has rolled out stricter and stricter export controls. It started in 2022 with their top-tier chips. Then in 2023, it got tougher, expanding to more products in more countries. And now it looks like it's about to get even stricter, with a worldwide licensing rule for the most powerful stuff.
So who does this actually affect?
Well, it's a direct hit on their heavy hitters, their most advanced data center products, the A100, the H100, and that new Blackwell series. This directly impacts their ability to sell into China, which was a huge market, and other key regions, even parts of the Middle East.
And let me tell you, NVIDIA's not mincing words about this. I mean, listen to this quote, pulled directly from their risk factors. They state, flat out, that their competitive position has already been harmed and could be harmed even more in the future. That is about as direct as a public company can be.
So that's the big question, right? With all this immense pressure from the outside and with competitors seeing a potential opening, what's the game plan? How does NVIDIA navigate this and stay on top? Well, their 10K lays out the playbook pretty clearly. And honestly, it's to double down on what got them to the dance in the first place. Relentless, full-stack innovation to just keep outrunning everyone. They're going to keep extending their lead in AI, push the boundaries in graphics and automotive, and keep growing that incredible platform. When you step back, there's just no doubt about it. NVIDIA's technology is a fundamental force that's building our future. But as it tries to navigate this new world, one with all these geopolitical rules and restrictions, the huge question mark hanging over everything is this: can the company that writes the software for the AI revolution still write its own destiny?